All right, hey Cy.
Hey Harris, how are you doing, buddy?
Good man, how are you? This is Harris Fellman with FailYourWay.com, being joined by Simon Leung at SimonLeung.com.
Right, SimonLeung.com.
Okay, and then that's also your Twitter is SimonLeung, right? Okay, cool. Simon was the senior something at Google, senior something optimizer. What was it?
Google
AdWords
optimization specialist.
And you were like basically. You pretty much were there when the department started, the optimization department started. Tongue twister, optimization department. How do you work for a place like Google with all these tongue twisters? And about 2.5 years ago, quit? Retired from Google, resigned from Google, and now has been doing internet marketing. First came onto the scene, kind of obviously as a, pay-per-click expert, but now you've become quite a social media expert as well. So, knows how to drive traffic like a wild man, whether it's paid or free. Really understands the internet marketing from really a different angle than a lot of other people that I've talked to. I just would like to also say that I think, if I'm not mistaken, within just 2 years, you built a 7-figure business.
Right, that actually happened in my first year, which was in 2006, from August until December. It fairly quickly went to over $500,000 business already.
Wow.
And went to the 7-figure mark shortly into year one.
So really, your first year, 7-figure business. That's pretty phenomenal success.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I had a slight advantage over most people having come from a Google background. So I knew a lot of different insider strategies that Google looks for. A little interesting fact, anybody who's been working at Google with AdWords or with search engine optimization know this. But essentially, even though some answers are really black and white, there's only one way you can really do anything right. Google doesn't really give you that answer equally black and white. They always go into the gray area. So my job at Google for about 4.5 years was developing what those criteria might be, the actual strategies that you need to rank well, to get a high quality score, to make sure that you don't get slapped, so to speak.
Yeah.
And
I almost slapped him.
And I mean, going into the whole internet marketing game, I had that advantage. I knew exactly what Google wanted. It wasn't until recently, till most of my non-disclosure agreement elements had expired, till I was really able to disclose some of the more important information. But I mean, still, the trade secrets and the proprietary information, I still can't share completely because it's just that.
Well, we won't ask you that, and that's enough about your success. All right, we want to talk about failure. I want to talk.
Absolutely.
And by the way, we're in San Diego, California right now, sitting in front of the Hard Rock Hotel. It's a little distracting. Some beautiful women have walked by while Simon was talking.
I wasn't looking.
You weren't looking. Happily married, just like I am. Distracting for other people, not us. Some of our friends have walked by, waved at us, shot us signs. Anyway, tell these guys what your biggest failure to date and how you overcame it.
Absolutely. I would say my biggest failure in terms of my business, in terms of what kept me from success, really was a whole different shift in mindset. And you can take a look and think of failure in many different ways. Is it monetary? Is it psychological? Is it what you really want to achieve? Well, the whole mindset thing kept me from all of those elements. I think if you go to my blog at SimonLeung.com, you can go all the way to the very first post. I actually started it a little over 2 years before I actually stopped working at Google.
So you had a Simon Leung blog at Google.
At Google, right. And so all the different things in there, you can see I started from the beginning where I started, should I go into an internet marketing business of my own? Should I start investing in this? And it actually shows the journey of what I went through, where I was, what I started learning into. You'll see when I built my first wholesaling business that went off really well and then completely collapsed. You'll see some affiliate programs that I joined and some different niches in internet marketing, in network marketing that I invested into, lost over $50,000 in a 2-year period.
While you were in a corporate job.
While I was in a corporate job, not knowing exactly what I was doing, but you can actually see the transition of what changed that.
So did you resign from Google after you had some financial success on the side? Or you're not allowed to say that?
Well, no, that was the other thing, because while that was happening, Google internally came up with a policy where as entrepreneurs, as employees, we can't be entrepreneurs without going through a big series of hoops. So we have to get upper executive management of Google and signed up or something like that, and it was very contractual, where to the point, where some people were concerned that, Google would want to take a piece of any profit that you might make. So that was just a bad idea for anybody inside Google as an employee to become an entrepreneur themselves, because there were just too many legal issues,
well, and it would slow you down with just red tape of the concept of it. So do you think that maybe with your background or with your current round, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, do you think you view failure differently than other people? And I'm going to check on our time real quick, but you can go ahead and talk to them real quick.
Okay. Well, I mean, my failure in relation to going ahead and waiting 2 years and losing over $50,000 before I finally decided, okay, you know what? I have this full-time job. Yes, it's comfortable, but I need to step outside that comfort zone. And it was a whole mindset, because I was thinking, okay, maybe I should start working on the side on my own business while I still have this job, which obviously had that little safety net, if you will, right? Because I have a full-time job. However, it wasn't the right mindset. I was still corporate. I was still working 9 to 5. I was still working for somebody else, and a full day of maybe 10, 12 hours of work go by, and it's not until nighttime when I can focus for a few hours on my own stuff, right? So it was basically, I had to step away from that. I can't have that mindset of working for somebody else. I had to shift, and I had to find the right elements, the right keys that would get me to where I want to be, and that's not the corporate environment. I had to step out of there, find my mentors, went to my very first internet marketing seminar, met the people who are experts who I can brainstorm with and form mastermind teams with, invest in mentors and the right home study courses, and not on all the wrong stuff. Like I said, over 2 years and over $50,000 later, it wasn't until at that point, May 5th, 2006, that I finally decided that I was going to attend my very first seminar and have a complete mindset shift on that. And 3 months to the day, on August 5th, 2006, after attending my first seminar and getting inspired enough to go out on my own and become an entrepreneur, not only to help myself and all the opportunities out there, but also to help anybody else in the game who can benefit them. It's just a completely different story. I mean, since then, 3 months, that was all it took. And I said, okay, I'm going to leave this job. Very stable at Google, the most senior resource they had.
Dream job.
Over 6 figures of stock options in addition to my salary on the table, and went out and did this, and never regret it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people would dream of working for Google. So, and I have to tell you too, since we're on the public side right now, I've been impressed watching you, because you could have easily kind of gotten lazy and just kept being just a Google pay-per-click expert, but you're also, you now really become quite a social media expert. If you go to follow him on Twitter, you'll see there's tens of thousands of people following you. And the reason I bring that up is because next I want to ask you about a money-making secret, a free traffic secret, how you would start from scratch. But I'm not going to do that on this video. That's going to be just for people that actually own the Make Money by Failing system. So basically the members of FailYourWay.com. So that's pretty much it. We're going to say goodbye to these guys for now from very sunny San Diego, California.
Very hot, dude.
Thanks a lot, everybody. It's been Harris Feldman and Simon Leung with FailYourWay.com.